Hello, Professor Flynn. This is my week 6 video reflection. Has to do with the idea of promoting a CL classroom. And I like to think or feel or kind of even know that I'm pretty unique in a situation where I feel that my district has absolutely backed a CL learning environment with starting their STEM education program from K to 12. So I'm a little unique there, and I do really see the benefits of it for my students and as they move on and get older. So I'm really writing this letter to any community member or administrator or Board of Ed from maybe another place or another town that might not value or see yet the benefits of a CL classroom. As far as some of the topics go, from standardized testing, I think standardized testings can benefit from these, or the students who have to take the test can, because studying in groups can be an absolutely huge thing and a way to break up different portions of that assignment and learn it as they go. To piggyback off of that, I think anyone's familiar with the idea that students, when they can finally teach something to another peer, is when they've really truly mastered the topic. And I think in a group setting like that, that's exactly what would wind up happening. Once that student becomes comfortable with it enough, it's ingrained in him or her so well that passing it on to another student is the next step. And that will help not only the peer that's being taught, but the teacher student themselves by reinforcing it. I think that CL learning also drives students to be creative. And I think that's important because when it comes to SAT time, you never really know what question or thing is going to be on that test. You might be able to study the type of questions, but you never know exactly. So the more problem-solving strategies that you have, the more opportunity prior to that test to be creative and find multiple ways to solve different types of problems, I think is really important and something that can absolutely benefit students in that high-stress environment of that test-taking day. As far as syllabus coverage goes, a few of the points made in the text that I liked, I thought that it was great that they admitted to the fact that it might take a little bit longer in the beginning, but will end up being quicker. I think establishing the routines of a CL classroom is tough to start because it might be different expectations than other classrooms or other styles of learning that they've been in before. But I do think that once you set that foundation, students become really, really good at doing it on their own. Parts of CL classroom that I love is delegation. Students learn in this room that, okay, we have this big assignment, let's have Jimmy work on this, Sarah work on that, Bobby work on this, and all of a sudden they're breaking that part into those 100 parts into maybe 10 pieces each, and that comes together with such better work for the group in total. And then it leads to the idea of teaching each other. Maybe in the text they mentioned how they could try to solve the same problem, and if they get different answers, they could go back and review and see where someone might have made a mistake. And I think that's important. There's so much science, in addition to the fact that students in an active student-centered learning environment, that the retention is so much better. So that interactions of working together, going through it, feeling the ups and downs is really, really important to learn from, but also for the retention. The last thing I'd say is for the students or the people that do not support it, I think we have to remember that we are trying to create students that are competent citizens and with cooperative attitudes and abilities. That was a huge point from the text, and I think setting up a mini community, which is their group, and showing how to interact and work with each other really does a good job to prepare them for the future. When I first started here, and for any administrator who doesn't maybe like the idea just yet, I think it's really important for them to reach out or go see something, go see it in action somewhere else. When I first started here, my first year, there were countless my goodness, Board of Eds coming in from different towns nearby, come seeing how we do it on a visit. They'd see a K to 3 school, they'd come to see me at 4th and 5th grade, they'd go to middle school and they'd go to high school, and inevitably, or at least I hope, they always enjoyed what they saw. But I think seeing it in action and seeing what it can do for students and the classroom is really, really important. So I encourage them, if they're skeptical or not sure, to really, really look out to maybe a district or another administrator that they know that has backed it and see how it's going for them, because I think they'll find there is a lot of positives. That's my last piece, kind of about that, my final week 6 reflection. So thanks so much for taking the time to listen, and I will see you soon. Thank you.